I like to say, before I do a little housekeeping things, we're approaching 20,000 subscribers. And as soon as we hit that number, I'm going to give away 5 vintage style posters like this, 5 of them, to some of the subscribers. I'm going to pick a few. I like to get the comments, you have any questions on Neighborhood Logic episode. If you have any questions, you put Chazz Palminteri Show at gmail.com. Chazz Palminteri Show at gmail.com. You want to see my one-man show? Go to chazzpalminteri.net and you'll see my one-man show. Also, I'm selling, I sell merchandise at the show, and you can buy it online now. A Bronx Tale hats with "Now You Can't Leave" and "The Saddest Thing in Life is Wasted Talent" behind that. Oh, what else we got? We got T-shirts here, A Bronx Tale, and "Saddest Thing in Life is Wasted Talent." Also, hoodies, black hoodies, really great quality hoodies. A Bronx Tale with "Now You Can't Leave." They just love that "Now You Can't Leave." This is all, I did this because of all the requests I got by so many people. So check it out, chazzpalminteri.net. Hi, welcome to the Chazz Palminteri podcast. We like to say we're excited to have a really incredible guest on today. But before I tell you who he is, I got a little housekeeping to do, and that is, if you like what you hear, if you love the show, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. We got a lot of new guests here, some great people to listen to talk to, people that went through the fire and came out on top. Also, my life lessons. Don't forget those, and Neighborhood Logic. Sometimes I always say, you don't have to see a shrink, just come to me, and I give you some Neighborhood Logic. Don't forget to go to my site, chazzpalminteri.net, if you want to see the one-man show, the original one-man show that started it all 34 years ago. I will be all over the country. I have, coming up now, I'm going to be in Detroit, Michigan. Just go to my site, chazzpalminteri.net, and check it out. Also, today, I am really excited. I've been trying to get this guy for a while, but he's so damn busy. And for those of you who say, you know what, my life is not working out, I never really did anything, this is a guy, let me tell you something, that took the world by storm. His name, Steve Martorano. Steve, there you are, Steve. Cuz, how are you?
My dear.
Let me tell you something a little about Steve. Steve Martorano in the 70s was a DJ. Grew up in South Philly. Is that right, Steve? South Philly.
Yes, sir.
Started making sandwiches, folks. Are you listening to this? Out of his basement, selling them in his car. From that, let's cut to where Steve is now. Steve Martorano is one of the most successful, greatest chefs, restaurateurs in the world. He's a very humble guy. I know he doesn't like hearing that, but I'm going to say it. Okay? He has 4 locations, folks, Martorano's, in South Florida. Okay? 40 Oakland Park Boulevard. That's the main one. That's the flagship one. I go to it when I land in Florida. Okay? Before I go to my hotel, I tell the guy, take me to Martorano's. That's what I do. Okay? Also has one in the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas, the Harris Hotel in Atlantic City, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, obviously. He's a successful published author, 2 books, okay? It Ain't Sauce, It's Gravy. And his new book, Yo Cuz, My Life, My Food, My Way. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel. The great thing about his restaurants are that not only is the food incredible, but the atmosphere is different than anything you ever seen. It's cool. It's hip. I don't know how he blends the two, but he does it. Okay, I'm a restaurateur. I have 2 restaurants. I don't know how he blends these 2 things. It's an amazing story. He's an amazing guy. Steve, welcome to the Chazz Palminteri podcast.
Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So, Steve, you got to take me through this. So you were a DJ in the 70s, right?
in the 70s, my family owned a vending business. So at the time, my father would fix all the machines, jukeboxes and stuff. So he used to come home with 45s in a case, and I would go down the basement and I would spin the play the records. I would dance by myself like I'm on stage, and I just loved music, and that's the way it really started.
And then how did you get from that? Were you always interested in cooking, and you enjoyed cooking?
Up in Philly, you didn't have many guys to look up to, right? We didn't look up to doctors, lawyers, accountants. We looked up to wise guys, and that was the guy that had respect in the neighborhood. My family was a part of that, and so that's all I knew. So I looked up to guys like my uncle, like Angelo Bruno. I looked up to them because when they walked into a room, all bets are off. So that's what I wanted until until everybody was getting killed and family was going to jail. I had to step back and regroup and say, is this what you want? That's not what I really wanted, but I couldn't sing and dance, so what else am I supposed to do? So I wound up being a DJ a little bit. I worked at some great clubs in South Jersey, Valentino's, which was owned by Rosario and Sal Gambino. They gave me a shot, and I spun records for about 10 years. And then once I was getting tired of that, I said to myself, what else can you do? Well, I love food. I didn't have no money, so I started a business out of the basement, and I made a flyer and went around giving my flyer to my neighbors, to anybody who would listen to me, while all my friends were driving down the shore making fun of me, So, but I liked the food. I liked the part. So I did it. That's how I got started.
I mean, did you ever go to any kind of culinary school to learn how to cook or anything?
No. No, my mother, my grandmother always cooked. My grandfather cooked, So never went to culinary school. I went to high school, but I would do favors because of my uncle for my teachers. I'd have to go to class. They just passed me. Guess, Steve, go to AVA, go relax. I make a sandwich, whatever I would do, and I had to go to class. It was a mistake because I know now knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. And I would have stood in school and I would have learned if I knew better, but I didn't know.
I understand. I have regrets myself. I was a much better student when I went to college than I was in high school because I finally was a little older and I realized that you do got to work harder, you got to study. But you know what? Your life and my life, it worked out okay. So we can't complain about that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it
right?
could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse.
Absolutely. So when you decided, how did you say, well, I'm going to South Florida and I'm going to get a restaurant there? How did that happen?
Because we ain't got enough time to tell the whole story.
No, we got time. We got a little while.
I'll give you a fast quick one.
Fast thing, sure.
I had the takeout business going pretty good, and I didn't have to pay no rent, no gas. Right, it was in my mother's basement, so I didn't have to pay anything. Right. I wound up saving a little bit of money. I wound up opening a restaurant in Northeast Philly, which was a big Jewish clientele. Right, to me, the Jewish people kept Italian restaurants in business. Right, so it was a good way. Go up there because instead of them coming to South Philly, which I did, and I opened up a takeout place, and it wasn't what I expected. Because everybody around me who was in business was selling things for like $9.99, soup, salad, dessert, and I wasn't me. I was about quality. So then the Iraqi war hit, the economy went down in the 80s, real estate went down, and I just lost everything. I had a dear friend of mine named Ray Abruzzi. He played, you might even know this, he played for the Jets, and he was partners with Joe Namath. And
I remember that, yes.
They owned the Bachelor's 3 and Mr. Pips. When I had Bachelor's 3 in New York, they had one in Fort Lauderdale. So he lived in a penthouse in Fort Lauderdale. And me and his nephew would come down once every other year or two. And he called me one day and he says, how you doing? How's your family? I said, good. I said, listen, I'm losing everything here. I ain't got nothing. At the time, my first wife, I had 2 kids. And it just wasn't, I had to go back on the street. I'm going to have to go do what my father did, which was a loan shark, go do what I had to go do. But he said to me, why don't you come to Florida? And I said, what am I going to do in Florida? He said, we need a place like you. So I listened to what he said, and I said to my first wife, Debbie, I says, let's go to Florida. We'll check it out. She goes, I have a friend of mine in Coral Springs, Florida. I don't know what Coral Springs, Florida is. I know Fort Lauderdale, Miami. So we go for 3 days in Coral Springs. She's married. She's got a couple of kids. So figure it works out good. They got a good school system. So that's why we went to Coral Springs. So they take me to dinner. They take me to a pizzeria with an Italian restaurant next to it. Everybody's in bed 9 o'clock. I said, what the fuck? I said, what am I going to do here? I'm going to die. Because this is how my life changes. And Chazz, it's called opportunities. Most people have them every day, and they don't see it.
That's
they don't
right.
look at it. And so we're there for 3 days. I can't wait to go back to Philly. I'm in the car driving. I didn't even call Ray because I was just disappointed. He calls me on the phone. He goes, where are you at? Where am I at? I'm in Coral Springs. What are you doing in Coral Springs? I don't know. Everybody's in bed 9 o'clock. He says, you don't belong there. Come to Lauderdale. Come to Lauderdale. I'm on my way to the airport. I ain't coming back to Florida no more. Do me a favor, please. Just stop. There's a little joint across the street. It's closed right now for summer vacation. I know it's for sale. Take a look at it. Ray, I don't like Florida. I'm going home. Thank you for everything. He says, just do me this one favor. So I was near Oakland Park going to the airport. I said, you know what? Let me just go. Because if I don't take that turn, I don't drive to that joint, I don't look in the window. And I had a pink awning. When I saw the pink awning, I said, what the fuck is this? What am I going to do here? I looked in the mirror, in the window. I had 5 tables, a little stove. I said, this is for me. Just like that, this is for me. Now, I don't take that route. I don't go there. Either I'm dead today, or I'm in jail, or I'm driving a truck or something. That's the truth.
So you would say, I always ask people, what was the defining moment in your life? So that sounds like that could be your defining moment.
Cuz, I don't make that style. Who knows where I'd be today? A guy like me, I don't have no education. It doesn't work. It don't work. And the opportunity was there. I grabbed it. I didn't know at the time. Most people don't know at the time that opportunity is there until it flourishes. And once it flourishes, you sit back and go, damn, I made a good move.
But you know what, Steve, I know what you're saying. And yes, you did you took that, you made that turn, you went there. But it's opportunity meets perspiration. You worked really hard. I mean, you worked hard to make that break and to make it worthwhile, Steve.
Hard work and perseverance, I think I got from my father and my mother. I seen how hard they work in their lives. So I think that's where I learned it from. So, and at the time, I'm not looking at hard work, right? I'm not looking at it as it's hard work. I just know I got to get up, go to work, and pay bills. That's what I knew what I had to do. And that's today I look at it. I said, I worked my balls off. I really did. I mean, I worked really hard to get, and the sad part, Chazz, though I'm blessed to today, I still don't see it. Is that amazing? I know.
I understand. No. And you know what? That's what keeps you humble. That's what keeps you always striving for perfection and being great. Because when you start believing your own bullshit, that's when you start to it doesn't happen. I come to the place in Florida, I see you behind there cooking. You're spinning records, you're cooking. I'm saying this man doesn't have to cook anymore. He doesn't have to. He's got great chefs all around him. And let me tell you something. I judge a man by the way he treats his people. I don't judge a man by the way he treats people that are bigger than him. I judge a man by the way he treats people that work for him. And your people, they love you, man. They love you. I can see they do. I see the people you have. They've been with you 15, 20 years. They put their kids through high school, through college.
Sure.
I mean,
Now, these are kids from like El Salvador. So they, I'm saying they worked extremely hard, and they had nothing when they got here too. But through hard work and perseverance, they were able to do what they could do for their family. But you appreciate that. Absolutely.
Where other people, they try to milk people like that, milk the bone out of them, and then when they get tired, they hire somebody new. one thing about you, you share the wealth. I've always noticed that about you. You take care of your help. You treat them well, not just in Florida and all over, in Vegas and Atlantic City and Pittsburgh. I mean, do you ever get to those other stores, Steve?
All the time. I have to. And
you have to.
3 or 4 times a year. And Chazz, most people who do what I do in licensing deals, you know, they go, but they don't. They go, they look at everybody, hi.
Yes.
Go to the bar, try to grab a broad, whatever it is. I go, I'm in that kitchen. So if Steve around Atlantic City, at Rivers Casino with Pittsburgh, in Fort Lauderdale, if Steve is in a joint, where's he at? He's in the kitchen and he's cooking. You can never tell. That's all I know is because that's all I got, Chazz. All I got is my food. That's all I got. So it's got to be perfect. So when I'm there, I make sure it's perfect.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
Now, Steve, I know it's probably true, but I was never there to witness this. Is it true when somebody comes to you and they say, you know what, I really don't like it that way. Could you make it this way? What do you say to them, Steve?
Let me do what I do. But Chazz, when you truly think this, when you go to a Louis Vuitton store, like you tell them, I don't like this bag, make it in black for me. They're going to laugh at you, right?
Right.
If you want me to change what I'm doing, I can't guarantee what's going to be good. You understand? I don't. It's when I do something, it's the way it's supposed to be. If you want to change it, go somewhere else. Because I won't say through. I want to say the word through. So okay. I had asked Eliza Minnelli, time to go. Frank Sinatra Jr., it's time to go. It's now maybe I might not have done Junior if the father was around, maybe. But I've had sit downs with guys over situations that they didn't understand why I do what I do. And when I explained to them, you can't walk into a joint and make up your own menu. Stay home and cook it yourself. But if you're going to enjoy it because a guy's known for something, let him do it. Judge him on that, not on what he don't do.
I agree with you. I like that. I always tell people, when you go to Martorano's, just be quiet, sit down, and let them cook for you.
That's it.
That's all you got to do.
It's that simple. It's that simple. So,
right.
But you gotta know, you gotta really believe in yourself to be able to do that. Most guys, they're in this pleasing world, right? Like the customer's always right. Who made that up, Chazz? Can you tell me? I want to walk in your joint. I want to say, I'm cold. Okay, you're cold. You want me to raise this fucking drop? Mike and Joey over here, they're hot. Right. They're colder. So what do you want me to do? So it's just that, just go in, shut up, eat your food. Hopefully it's the expectations. I do it, and then keep it moving.
Well, but see, that's the amazing thing about your food. I mean, you know, you could talk the talk, but you know, you walk the walk, man. Your food is outrageous. I mean, I got to tell you, I've eaten all over the world. I've eaten some of the finest restaurants all over the world. The thing about your place that I don't understand how you do it is that you make these old world things, escarole and beans, Philly's cheesesteak.
That you love, broccoli that you like.
Yeah, pasta fagioli. And it tastes like my grandmother's. I don't understand it. I really don't. Because when I tasted other places, it's really good, but it don't taste like my grandmother's. I mean, how do you do that?
When you have love and you respect food, it, you want to bring back a memory of people. The greatest compliment that anybody could give me is, one, you brought me back to a time in my life when things were good. You brought me back to my grandmother, my grandfather when she was the greatest compliment in the world.
I remember saying that to you. Yes.
So the jerk off one is a lady coming in going, my meatballs are better than yours. Well, you already made 15 meatballs on Sunday. I just made 600. What do you want to compare it to? Don't order a meatball if you make them at home. So that's possible.
But what a stupid thing to say.
Stupid.
I mean, that is just, you know what? That's like somebody coming over to me and say, oh, I saw your latest movie. I really didn't like it. Well, then why are you telling me that for?
Why? People don't.
I agree. Some people are just dumb. They have no sense of if you don't. My father always said, and it's a cliche, but it's true. If you got nothing nice to say,
Don't
keep
say
your
it
mouth shut.
all. Don't say it at all.
Your meatballs are good.
You catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
Of course.
Now you're on my bad side. So,
Right. I mean, why? But I have to say, especially when I come to, and I have to bring it up to you, is when I come to your restaurant, especially in South Florida. I mean, I know how important Marsha is to your success, because I see her when I see that place packed. I see her running around, and I got to say, she runs a tight ship over there, but she really does. Oh, it's all right. Oh, I'm sorry if I.
No. I lost my son 2 years ago. So if it wasn't for her,
Yeah.
I probably would do something stupid, right? So God put her in my life for a reason, and you're right. I follow her lead. She's probably the most wonderful person I ever had in my life, and she loved my son. She loved my mother, and she took care of my mother when she was sick. And now she runs the front of the restaurant. I run the back, and I salute a lot. I give her this. And Chazz, without a good woman, without the right woman by your side, you ain't going nowhere. You won't.
Yeah.
I
agree. I agree with you. I agree. And I see how dedicated she is to you and how dedicated you are to her. And I think that's, but I watch her work, because owning 2 restaurants myself, you watch people, how they handle other people, how they're running the ship, how they're making things work smooth. And it's, and I watched her, and I admire the way I saw her work,
She's Jamaican. I got to sleep with one eye open. You hear me?
Well, you're a good man. You do the right thing. Come on.
Cuz, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You ask anybody who's anybody, and you know what I'm talking about. If they come in my joint, the first thing you'll hear them say outside the restaurant, Marsha's a tough broad. She's a tough broad. She don't take, with me, I might, if it's somebody that I respect,
right.
I'm there, it's like, no, I got to say that, you can't do that.
Right.
But they understand, but she's running a business.
She's running a business. Yeah, this is and I think that's great. I mean, what do you see? I mean, Steve, I'm really surprised that I'm sure they have, where people came over and said, look, we want to buy your brand. Here's a couple of $100 million, $300 million, whatever. Would you ever think about selling if that ever happened?
It's amazing, Chazz, what you just said. I'm 64, and I've been working like this since I was 30, 32. I shined shoes when I was 9 years old. So I've been working it now, but in this business, I've been over 40 years. And we built nothing and turned it into something. And we turned it into something that appeals to a lot of people. But we are on the expensive side of Italian food.
Yes.
Most expensive in the country. And I don't have to explain myself on that, because I'm proud of it, because we use the best of the best. So we had to make a decision. I needed an out plan. How do I get out? My son passed, so I can't leave it to him. I don't have anyone to leave this stuff to. Why am I working so hard right now? So we said, well, I guess the idea would be to sell the brand, sell the name. So we came up with my first takeout when I started was called Steve's Italian Kitchen, called Joey's Italian Kitchen by Martorano's. And it will be all the foods that I used to do at my basement on a casual end that gives the opportunity to the working class guy that's out there breaking his ass every day to get a chance to taste the flavors of Martorano's food on a casual front.
Right.
And then my wife, she created Lily Cakes, which is all her desserts are in all the restaurants, named after my mother and her mother, named Lillian. We're about to launch Lily Cakes along with Joey's Italian Kitchen on a casual So once we're about to open a couple of them, I can't tell you where now, but it's going to happen within a year. Once we get those up and running, then the whole brand becomes sellable. And I won't just sell it for the money. I would want to be part of it. So I'm there to make sure the creativity and make sure that the quality is on point. But we're excited to be able to give working class people, hardworking people, an opportunity to come in and eat good food.
Wow. Well, I know you. I mean, it would break your heart if you sold it and then the quality just went down. I mean, you would be, no matter, I don't care if you made $300-400 million, you would be, forget it. You know, it would break your heart.
I mean, it's from the bottom of my heart. I never, ever chased money. Yeah. I never chased money. I never did anything for the money. I always knew money would come if you did it the right way and you put your heart, your soul, and your compassion, and you put that daily regimen of getting up and going to work and buying the best, money will come. So, and I never chased it. I never worried about it, guys. I never worried about it. See, I'm like my father. You can believe this, Chazz, or don't believe this. It's not what you have in the bank to me, because my father never had a bank account. I got money in my pocket. I'm the richest guy in the world. I got money in my pocket. I'm the richest guy in the world. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. And that's how I always lived my life that way, Chazz. I never worried about it. God's first in my life, so he's always provided for me. Even when I walked away from him, he's always provided for me. So I'm okay.
That's great. That's great. Now, where do you see yourself, if you can, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Hopefully we would have sold the brand, did what I had to do. I never been to Italy. Because I ain't never been to Italy. People say, "Are you nuts?" I said, "No, I worked. This is my first vacation in Myanmar in 17 years." And we wanted to go to Italy, but the paperwork was I carry Pio, one of my dogs. So
right,
Pio with me, and we were able to get papers to Mexico for it, because she's a service dog, to get to faster in Mexico. So we brought him. But next year, I'll take him, Pio. We're going to go to Italy. Never been here. I can't tell you. That's why people say to me, How do you call it gravy? Why is it gravy? It's sauce in Italy. I don't know about Italy. I mean, I was born here in this country. What do I know about Italy? I can't.
That's right.
So my family called it gravy. Italians over there called it sugo, or they called it sauce, whatever.
Yeah. Now, is it true, Steve, that they say sauce is a marinade sauce? Gravy is with the meat and the sausage, brajol.
Questionable to some people, fist fighting for others. So it's hard to say this is what it is, and I don't want to say this is what it is, because I go to your house and you're making a sauce that's got brajol, pig's feet, sausage, spare ribs. You calling it sauce? I want to say this is the best fucking gravy I ever had. What's the difference? What it is, right? As long as it tastes good. As long as it tastes good.
As long as it tastes good. Yeah, I mean, I now, what is your? I know this is probably a ridiculous question to ask. What is your favorite dish? What is Steve Martorano's favorite dish when he comes home and he looks at Mars and he says, "Ma, let's make a little something. Let's open up a bottle of wine." What is your favorite dish?
Linguine and clams.
Linguine with clams.
Because just that.
I love that too.
Just that. Yes, I love it.
That's great. But when you go to Sicily, you have to go to Sicily, and you must taste the linguine and clams there, because I've had them all over. Yours is absolutely probably one of the best I've ever had. When you go to Italy, there's something about that water, the sea, fish. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's different, but incredible.
The clams are probably as big as my pinky.
Yes.
And if you notice, it's not swimming in broth. It's dry. Like
yes.
The macaroni soaks everything up. So we can't get those clams. The oil they use is from the region of where they're at. So
that's correct.
Things make it a little more different. So, but we try to get it as close as we can.
Oh my God, your linguine and clams is off the charts, spectacular. And you like to just have that with a nice bottle of wine. I mean, I don't know how Mars stays so beautiful. If you were with me, if we were friends, I would say, "Hey, Steve, come on, make a little something today. Make a little this, make a little that." I don't understand that.
My wife is very simple, and she likes certain things, but she'll venture out. But how she stays so skinny is I try to catch her so I can fool around, and I can't catch her. So she's always exercising. So that's how she stays thin, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what? We got a few minutes left. You want to bring her on, make the audience meet her? Would you like to? Is she embarrassed to come on with you?
Oh, Mar, embarrassed? Let me tell you, you got 2 minutes on the story. 2 minutes?
Oh, I got more than 2 minutes. Go right ahead.
So when I first met my wife, we were talking, and she says to me, we were talking about movies because I play all the movies in the restaurant, you know?
Right.
She says, I love this movie. I love Sonny. Now, you're telling me you're coming in. I didn't say anything to her. All of a sudden, she runs over to me, and she says, Steve, I'm cooking. Steve, Sonny's here. Oh, Sonny, where at the door? I said, Chazz, no, it's fucking Sonny. She loved you from before I even met her.
Oh, she's very sweet.
Come on, Mark. Come over here. Come on, get your ass up, girl. Come on. Come on.
Get her, go ahead. Go get her. Bring her over here.
Come on. My love of my life. My world. My queen.
Oh, look at her.
Hi, Chad.
Good to see you. I was mentioning to Steve, obviously because I own a restaurant, I always watch people. And when I come in there and I see that place, I mean, your place in Florida is so packed, and I see you running around, and I say, now, she runs a tight ship. I can see it. So he just was saying that you're such a big part of his success. That's just wonderful.
And Chazz, she's never done it. She
hold on, let me shut this. Go ahead.
She worked for a bank, and so that's what she did. She was never in this business, and she picked it up from day one. And now, when we open up a joint, she designs it. When we open up at Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh, she did a what's it called?
Zoom training.
Zoom training. Imagine that, teaching the front of your house a Zoom training, but she did that. And it was,
those desserts? You come up with the desserts too, right, Ma?
Yeah, I come up with the desserts. We used to buy them from a company. What was the company? Bindi. We used to buy a dessert. Well, Steve used to buy these desserts from a company called Bindi a long time.
Excuse me.
And one day I was like, oh, I'm gonna bake a cake and see how it was. And I made a cake, but it was too much to keep in the house, so we took it to the restaurant and gave it to people, and they loved it. And then I just started baking, and then started making all of the desserts for Oakland Park, and then sending the recipes to all of the other restaurants so that they can have the consistency. And from there, it's, years go by and new recipes, and then we started Lily Cakes in honor of my grandmother and Steve's mom, whose both names were Lillian.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But Chazz, there's something I didn't say about Mar. Though she worked at the bank, she was a professional makeup artist. She did, she would do brandy and
right.
Yeah, that's what she did. She did celebrities' makeup. She gave all that up, all that up to come work to the restaurant. Swear to God. Yeah, she gave it up.
Well, you know what, my friend, that's called love, and I always see both of you always so happy together, and I admire that. I admire your dedication to each other, your love of the faith. I admire that. I admire what you both accomplished, and like you said, without her, who knows where you'd be right now. And it's the same thing without my wife. I don't know. I don't know where I'd be, because she kept me on the road straight, because I was always afraid to disappoint her and disappoint, my children, disappoint everybody. So she kept me on the road straight. I just want to say, Marcia and Steve Martorano, it is an absolute pleasure to have you both here. And I tell everybody I'm your biggest fan. I say, when you land in Florida, I say to the chauffeur, Martorano's. Don't even take me to the hotel, Martorano's. And folks, if you're in Atlantic City, it's at Harris Hotel. If you're in Vegas, it's at the Paris Hotel. You're in Pittsburgh, I know you have that Italian steakhouse there that's killing it.
Yes.
You could pick up Steve's book. It ain't sauce, it's gravy for the 100th time.
Guys, ready for this? I'm in Mexico, right?
Yes.
How much rice and beans do you think I want to eat? Cuz I'm not kidding around. Look, tonight.
That's right. I forgot about your sauce.
Look, and the macaroni. We're going to eat a mastichana tonight.
Mastichana, and you're going to make it. Marsha, it's a pleasure to see you. How you say so thin and beautiful, I do not know. With him cooking, I don't know. But he told me. I know. Steve.
I can't catch it.
You can't catch it. Well, you know what? Running after her is worth running after, pal. So God bless you both. I wish you much health, success, wealth, everything. Enjoy your vacation. Take some time off. And I hope to see you again when I come to Florida.
Thank you. We love you. We love you, cuz. We love you.
God bless. God bless. Good night.